On December 9, 2025, President Donald Trump announced a landmark agreement with Chinese President Xi Jinping. The world watched as the two leaders, often at odds over trade and technology, revealed a deal that could reshape the global tech landscape for years to come. This deal allows Nvidia to export its powerful H200 AI chips to select Chinese customers, reversing years of tightening restrictions. For the first time since the U.S. began its tech crackdown, a pathway has opened for American chip makers to re-enter the lucrative Chinese market, albeit under strict conditions. The agreement marks a dramatic shift in U.S. strategy, balancing economic opportunity with national security. It's a delicate dance, one that seeks to harness the benefits of trade while managing the risks of advanced technology falling into the wrong hands. Nvidia, along with AMD and Intel, can now access a Chinese market previously off-limits. For these companies, the agreement represents not just new revenue, but a chance to regain lost ground in the world's fastest-growing tech sector. The deal is the result of months of high-stakes negotiations, with Nvidia's CEO Jensen Huang arguing that previous export bans hurt American innovation and accelerated China's domestic chip efforts. Behind closed doors, industry leaders and policymakers debated the best path forward, weighing the risks and rewards of renewed engagement. Trump's new policy is a calculated bet, one that economic gains and a new revenue-sharing mechanism will outweigh the risks of empowering a strategic rival. The administration believes that by setting clear rules and oversight, the U.S. can maintain its technological edge while benefiting from global demand. The announcement, made on Truth Social, signals a fundamental rethinking of U.S.-China tech engagement. It's a message to both allies and competitors that America is willing to adapt its approach in a rapidly changing world. Artificial intelligence chips are now at the center of global power, and this agreement sets a new precedent for navigating commerce and security. The stakes are higher than ever, as nations race to harness AI for economic and military advantage. The deal is not just about trade, it's about shaping the future of technology and global influence. It's a test case for how two superpowers can compete, cooperate, and coexist in the digital age. By allowing H200 exports, the U.S. aims to dominate the global AI market while keeping a close eye on security. The hope is to set standards that others will follow, ensuring American leadership in the next wave of innovation. The implications will ripple through corporate profits, military balance, and the broader U.S.-China relationship for years to come. Every decision made now could have consequences for generations. This is a high-stakes pivot, and the world is watching. Investors, governments, and tech leaders everywhere are bracing for what comes next. The Trump-Xi chip agreement is a bold experiment in economic statecraft, one that could redefine the rules of global technology for a generation. To truly grasp the impact of Trump's new policy, it's important to first consider what it's replacing and why that matters for the future of global technology. The Biden administration's approach was one of technological containment, using strict export controls to slow China's military modernization and limit its access to the world's most advanced chips. American companies like Nvidia were barred from selling their top-tier AI chips to China, forcing them to design and sell less powerful, degraded versions that met regulatory requirements but fell short of cutting-edge performance. This compromise allowed U.S. firms to earn some revenue from the Chinese market, but critics, including Trump, argued it wasted resources, stifled innovation, and left American companies in a difficult position. Billions of dollars were spent developing and manufacturing products that few customers actually wanted, diverting both talent and capital away from true technological advancement and more promising opportunities. While the policy did slow China's immediate progress, it also had an unintended consequence. It pushed Beijing to accelerate its own chip industry, investing heavily in domestic research and manufacturing. Chinese tech giants, frustrated by the limitations of inferior chips, poured resources into developing homegrown alternatives, determined to close the gap with the West. Ironically, U.S. restrictions may have fueled the very self-sufficiency and technological independence they aimed to prevent, giving China a new sense of urgency and purpose. Trump points to this as the core failure of the previous strategy, arguing that it backfired and ultimately strengthened America's main competitor. The stage was set for a dramatic reversal, open the gates to competition, but this time on new terms designed to protect American interests and reshape the playing field. The new policy aims to reclaim lost market share and global influence, while managing the risks of technology transfer more directly and assertively. The question now is whether this bold new approach will succeed where the old one faltered, or if it will bring a new set of challenges for American industry. The stakes for American innovation and global tech leadership have never been higher, and the world is watching to see what happens next. Trump's agreement takes a bold new direction, signaling a significant shift in U.S. technology policy toward China. Under this new policy, Nvidia is now permitted to export its H200 AI chip to China, a major upgrade over the previously allowed weaker models that were far less capable. The H200 offers Chinese companies unprecedented computing power, enabling them to run more advanced AI models and process massive amounts of data. However, the very top-tier chips, which could give a decisive edge, remain strictly off-limits. The deal isn't a free-for-all. Only carefully vetted commercial customers, with no direct or indirect military ties, can buy these chips. This ensures that sensitive technology doesn't end up in the wrong hands. The U.S. Department of Commerce will oversee this strict vetting process, aiming to keep advanced tech out of the hands of the Chinese military and other restricted entities. In a novel twist, 25% of revenue from these sales goes directly to the U.S. government, creating a new stream of national income and adding a financial incentive to the policy. This policy doesn't just affect Nvidia. It applies to Intel and AMD as well, leveling the playing field for all major American chip makers and ensuring fair competition. The logic behind the move is clear. It's better for U.S. companies to dominate the Chinese market with good enough chips than to lose it entirely to rapidly advancing Chinese competitors. The hope is to slow China's domestic chip push, generate profits for American firms, and maintain a crucial technological edge in the global race for AI supremacy. It's a complex, high-stakes strategy with global implications, affecting not just business, but also geopolitics and the future of technology. The world is watching closely to see if this bold experiment will succeed, or if it will spark new challenges on the global stage. The new chip deal has ignited fierce debate in America. Nvidia and its supporters hail the move as a win for jobs, innovation, and U.S. tech leadership. They argue that access to China's market will fund the next wave of breakthroughs. Critics, especially Democrats and former Biden officials, call it a dangerous concession, warning that even commercial chips could end up in military hands. China's official response is cautious optimism, welcoming the deal, but wary of its conditions. For Chinese tech firms, it's a lifeline. For U.S. security hawks, a risky gamble. Investors cheered, sending Nvidia's stock up, but the debate over profit versus security rages on. The stakes are clear: economic gain versus national risk. At the heart of this drama is the AI chip, a GPU originally built for gaming, now powering the AI revolution. Unlike CPUs, GPUs handle thousands of tasks at once, making them essential for training large AI models. U.S. companies like Nvidia lead the world, creating jobs and driving innovation. For America, chip dominance means economic strength and military advantage. China's tech giants need these chips to compete globally, but Beijing also sees reliance on U.S. tech as a vulnerability. Gaining access to H200 chips is a stopgap as China races to build its own. The debate is fierce because these chips are dual-use: commercial today, military tomorrow. The U.S. wants to profit and lead. China wants to catch up and challenge that lead. U.S. restrictions supercharge China's drive for chip self-sufficiency. Billions have been invested in a national push, with companies like Huawei, Cambricon, and more Threads racing to close the gap. Cambricon's stock has soared, but Chinese chips still lag behind Nvidia's in power and efficiency. Some startups are innovating by using many weaker chips together, a workaround but less efficient. The new H200 deal may slow China's domestic push, making firms more reliant on U.S. tech. But the drive for self-reliance won't disappear. The Trump policy hopes to keep China dependent on American chips, discouraging massive investment in homegrown alternatives. Yet, access to better chips could help Chinese engineers learn and catch up faster. It's a delicate balance: short-term profit versus long-term competition. The outcome will shape the future of global tech rivalry. The H200 export decision is a balancing act between jobs, innovation, and security. Supporters say reopening China's market will boost U.S. sales, create high-paying jobs, and fund next-gen research. More revenue means more innovation, keeping America ahead. Critics warn that advanced chips could leak to China's military, given the country's civil-military fusion strategy. The Department of Commerce faces a huge challenge vetting buyers and preventing illegal diversion. The policy is a calculated risk. Can the U.S. profit and innovate without empowering a rival? The debate pits immediate economic benefits against long-term security threats. The answer will define America's tech future. The chip deal is just the latest chapter in the U.S.-China tech rivalry. Its success hinges on strict enforcement. Any sign of military diversion could trigger a swift reversal. If Chinese firms become reliant on U.S. chips and slow their domestic efforts, Trump's strategy will be seen as a win. But if China leverages both U.S. chips and its own innovation, critics will call it a failure. This model of good but not best exports with revenue sharing could spread to other tech sectors. The future will be a mix of competition and cooperation, with constant policy recalibration. Both nations will keep investing in their own tech leadership. The outcome of this deal could set the tone for global tech relations for years to come. Trump's H200 chip deal is a high-stakes gamble, redefining America's approach to China. Supporters believe economic engagement and innovation will secure U.S. leadership. Security hawks warn that any tech transfer is a dangerous risk. The true impact will unfold over years. Will the vetting process work, and will China's tech ambitions be slowed or supercharged? This is more than trade policy. It's a strategic experiment in blending profit with national interest. In a connected world, total tech separation may be impossible. Whether this gamble strengthens America or accelerates a rival's rise remains to be seen. The world is watching, and the stakes couldn't be higher.